Well, hello there. This is a different kind of video compared to what you usually see on this channel. Today we are going to the player search screen, something that I really like to do in my saves, and I will show you how to use that player search screen to improve your save. Well, hello there. Scouting. Yeah, scouting has not been something easy for everyone. And if you are still here and you are interested in this topic, leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because that is very important and it will show me that I have to do this kind of videos more, or that you are generally interested in the channel. Now, scouting is a very interesting subject, and to be honest, it has been improved in FM23. We have these recruitment focuses that you can use, you can set up, you can set them up here in this kind of screen and tell your scouts where to go, where to search for players and what kind of players you really want. But something that I really like to use is the player search screen. I go to players in range here, and I try to find the best players that will suit my team tactic and the plans that I have for the future, because usually you are not only recruiting for today, for this season, you are also kind of recruiting looking into the future. You want to make next season to be much easier for you and to achieve much more with your squad. Here I selected Arsenal because they are quite good, reputable team, and I'm a fan of Arsenal. And now here you can select different scouting ranges. This will allow me to have much more players. I have a very large database with players, all the players from top division clubs from Europe, South America and Africa, and a large database overall. 113,500 players. Scouting ranges world. This is based on the reputation and the budget, the general financial status of your club. If you have a very good financial established side like Arsenal is, you can afford to go worldwide, yeah, to cover all the players in the world. But then you will have these two ticks in interested in transfers and loan. If you select the tick in transfers, you have certain levels, yeah. Here with interested, yeah, you have 72,900 players. If I go to doubtful, it will add me about 3,000-4,000 more players. We go to 76,600. And this means that there are some players that are willing to come to the club, but not wanting it necessarily. Yeah, you have 72,000 players that will come to Arsenal tomorrow if you set some requirements like a good wage and so on. But there are also another 3,600 or something like this that you need to increase a little bit the wage. You need to promise them something. You need to make sure that they are playing a lot of matches and they want to come as a main player, yeah, in the squad. And these can be like Jude Bellingham, who probably will have other clubs that are considered by him more reputable or with more chances to go to Europe and to win trophies, whatever the player actually wants. Some of them are settling harder into some countries and they might not want to come to your club. Even now we are talking about the Premier League, which is the first league in reputation worldwide. But if you are at a club on a lower league, that is also important, because some players may think, okay, I am playing to avoid relegation in Serie A, but still I am in Serie A, I don't want to come to Austrian league or to Norway or something like this, because they are not at the same reputation, even though you probably have a team that is fighting for the title or for Europe. Fighting for Europe, of course, can improve things, and being in the groups of Champions League, of course, can improve things, and maybe you can get players better than some other teams that are more financially stable but are not in the groups of Champions League. These things can vary, but in the player search screen, what can you do? I will show you a couple of tips. First of all, you can go to new search. I showed you how to select players based on transfer interest. You can go to new search and pick attributes for a certain position, and this is very interesting because here in the player search you have two tabs, let's say quick and advanced. For quick, you can just select a position or a role or the age of the player, the scout recommendation, let's say where does your scout think the player will stay. You can pick some attributes here: transfer status, loan status, contract status, which is very important if you want to look for players that are ending their contract and you want to get them on a free. You can go here and select expiring in 1 year, so that you have a list. Let's say you shortlist those players that will have their contracts expiring next season, so that on 1st of January you can go and just poach them, just offer them a contract and get them for free in the summer. But on advanced here you can select your attributes and you can go to the role that you actually want to scout for, that you want to recruit for. Let's say I'm going to midfield roles and I want to recruit a carriero, which is one role that I really like. And here there are 14 selected attributes. Yeah, some of them are more important, the others are less important. You can untick those that you think are not that important. As an example, I don't know, concentration is not necessarily one of the most important ones. Neither is technique. I would like someone to be able to have stamina and work rate here, have some vision and positioning and off the ball, because they are kind of the workers of the team. They really need to run a lot and be part of all the phases of the game, be able to play attacking and defense. So for this moment, let's leave all the 14 selected attributes. We can put them on 16 at least, which is really above average, and it will give us probably none or probably very few players, but let's see. We go to this and the search screen is already starting to search. There are 0 players found on 16 for all the 14 attributes here, with transfer status doubtful. Yeah, so they are kind of interested but not necessarily interested. So what you can do here, it is already selected, but you can do and select for 12 out of 14 there are no players. For 14 out of 14 of course there are no players. If I go to 10 out of 14, it will still search. I can go for 10 out of 14 and then I can untick this transfer and it will show me 2 players. No, 5 players. But none of them are necessarily interested to join Arsenal, and for good reasons, because they are at very, very big clubs in the world, and Jorginho is at Chelsea, so he's at one of the rivals. Sergio Busquets, Bernardo Silva, Thomas Müller, Luka Modric and Jorginho, they can all play Carriero. Even though you see here some players, Bernardo Silva would not classify him as a Carriero, neither is Thomas Müller. Maybe Luka Modric and Jorginho would be, let's say, the most dynamic ones that really can play the 2 phases of the game, defensive and offensive. But Thomas Müller is generally a Raumdeuter, yeah, but he can play as an advanced forward, shadow striker and so on. He can even play as a striker, but he has all the attributes needed for a Carriero. Let's take this down a notch. Yeah, we go here and we clear, we go back to pick, we go back to midfield roles, Carriero, and we go to 14. Yeah, so we will have 14 out of 14, but with 14 level of the attributes. Yeah, here not interested in transfer, so we didn't tick anything here, and we have 10 players found. Let's see who is interested actually to come. There is only one player that is interested, and that is Declan Rice. If we go to doubtful, it will show us just Declan Rice. So if I really want a very good Carriero that can play that role, I should go and recruit Declan Rice. So really in few minutes I put the necessary steps here to give me the player that I'm really looking for, and as you can see, there is already a scout recommendation to sign Rice as a priority. Let's search now for Wonderkids. In order to search for Wonderkids, you can do 2 things. One of them would be to search directly just for general Wonderkids. You can select here age is at most 19, and then you can select some attributes from here, or you can wait for your scout reports to give you the most ability or maybe most potential here. Yeah, you can select potential at 4.5 stars based on your scouts, but then it will show only the players that have some kind of scout reports. If you don't have scout report, and of course I don't have for 100,000 players, I'm not able to do it like this. I'm not able to filter based on potential. These are players that have already reports, but if I want some player that doesn't have report, what I would suggest is for you to put this age at 19 and try to go back to attributes and try to pick for a role that you want. Let's take advanced forward attack. Yeah, and for this we will go down a notch to 13, and let's see if we can find players with 15 selected attributes and at least 13 each. One player found based on them, and it's Jude Bellingham, that he is not even an attacker, but let's take this down a notch and go to 12. So they have 3 attributes, yeah, 3 attributes that are not 13 and are lower than 13. For this, I disable the player attribute masking that I usually use it. Yeah, I don't disable the player attribute masking. So now if I'm going to Yunus Musa, I have all the attributes here. Yeah, probably Yunus Musa from Valencia is not necessarily the player that is on all the scout reports of Arsenal, so normally I should not see all the attributes from the beginning of the game if I am not unticking that player attribute masking. So these are the players that can play attacker, that are really wonder kids, maximum 19 years old. So these are them. All are doubtful. If I untick this, there are 21 players, so the list kind of doubles, and I can see all of these. Of course, some of them are not necessarily attackers. As an example, let's go to Gavi. Gavi is generally an advanced playmaker, kind of this playmaker role in middle of the park. He can play that great. He has a great potential ability. 17 years old, he can get much better into the future, so he's a player that you want, but he ticks all the boxes to be an advanced forward. Yeah, we don't even have a scout on him to be advanced forward, but he has all the boxes and all the restrictions that we put in here to recruit a new advanced forward wonder kid. Yeah, if you only want for that position, you need to put here another one that will say position, and it will be natural at being a striker. Yeah, so these are the ones that are natural at being a striker: Ansu Fati, Fabio Silva, Liam Delap, Alejo Veliz, Victor Roque, and Jeremias Perez Tica. Yeah, let's go to Alejo Veliz as an example, who is not a player that you usually see. Plays for Rosario Central in Argentina, and you want to have this player because as an advanced striker at 18 years old, he has all of these great attributes. He doesn't have a great determination, a reputation of only 1.5 stars, but he is below 10 million euros, so he is really cheap for a team in Premier League, and I think you can develop him very well. A finishing of 15 at 18 years old, it's amazing, and he is not that small. Yeah, when you are going to recruit players from South America, you are not expecting them to be 187 necessarily. And left foot weak, yeah, but I think you can even improve that. Being 18 years old, he can do a lot of things, and he's in the middle of the season here, so really had also some stats already, scoring 8 goals in 22 matches at 18 years old for Rosario Central. I think he is pretty good. So you can find these players with quick search, yeah, in a few minutes. If you want to search for central defender or goalkeeper or whatever you want, you just go here and pick highlight attribute for whatever role you want, and you can select the age and so on. So it takes 5 minutes. You can do this to enhance and improve your save, and it's something that I really like to do a lot in my saves, to kind of search for players all over the world. Yeah, instead of going to this predefined list on the internet and just search these are the top 10 let's say cheapest or bargain midfielders, I just go here and in 5 minutes the list will give me the players that I want to search for. As an example, if I would go on with this save in for Arsenal, what I would do, I would probably try to buy Liam Delap, who is on loan at Stoke, so he will probably play a lot of matches at Stoke. He's a Manchester City player, will be probably a little bit more expensive, but I think he is developing into a top star. Alejo Velic as a probably reserve to Liam Delap in the future, and Victor Roque, who can also play some different roles here. You could see Victor Roque in the Aston story if you follow on my channel. He is becoming very good. He's only 17 years old, and the same way you can search for players all over the world for all the positions that you need. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and thank you very much for watching.